Once upon a time, speed in the skies was all about who could go supersonic, but today, we've entered the hypersonic age, where Mach 5 is just the starting line. Welcome to the era of scramjets, gliding missiles, and experimental planes that laugh at the sound barrier. Nations aren't just flexing their military muscles, they're racing to build the fastest, smartest aircraft on Earth. It's like Top Gun meets the Fast and the Furious, only with less leather and more liquid hydrogen. Among the leaders of the pack is the United States, which has been pushing the frontiers of speed with aircraft like NASA's X-43A and the Air Force's X-51 Waverider. And yes, they've hit speeds so high, your GPS might need therapy to keep up. Enter the speed demon. Let's start with the star of the show, the X-43A, an experimental plane that showed the world hypersonic flight wasn't just for comic books. Part of NASA's HyperX program, this aircraft was designed to test scramjet technology, a fancy way of saying, let's make a jet engine that works better the faster it goes. Unlike regular rockets that carry both fuel and oxygen, scramjets are air breathers. They scoop up oxygen from the atmosphere while zipping through the sky, like a marathon runner hydrating mid-stride. This makes them lighter, more efficient, and incredibly cool. Think of it as a car that refuels from the air while driving 4,600 miles per hour. Science fiction? Nope, just science. Third time's the charm. The X-43A's test flights weren't all smooth sailing, or smooth flying in this case. The first attempt in 2001 went sideways literally. The Pegasus rocket that was meant to push it into the sky lost control 13 seconds after launch and had to be destroyed for safety. Not the best day at NASA, but March 2004 brought redemption. This time, everything clicked. Released from a B-52 bomber at 40,000 feet, the rocket propelled the X-43A to a stunning Mach 6.83 that's over 4,600 miles per hour and kept the scramjet humming for 11 glorious seconds. Just enough time for the plane to travel 15 miles. In November 2004, the final flight reached Mach 9.68, nearing 11,000 kilometers per hour. That's the kind of speed that could deliver your Amazon package before you click place order. How scramjets work. So how do you build a jet that can go nearly 10 times the speed of sound without disintegrating like a cheap paper plane in a hurricane? Very carefully, the X-43A's body is part of the engine pulling in air, mixing it with hydrogen, and blasting it out with the force of a tiny rocket-powered dragon. These engines are picky eaters though. Scramjets only work at hypersonic speeds, at least Mach 4.5. So how do you get them started? You give them a piggyback ride via a rocket. That's right, the X-43A needed to be hurled into the sky by a Pegasus booster before it could do its thing. Also, hydrogen fuel was spiced up with a chemical called monosilane, which ignites instantly when it hits air like lighting a match in a tornado. That's how you get a scramjet to start firing at 95,000 feet. Big plans, bigger cancellations. The fact with the X-43A's success, NASA wasn't just dreaming big. They were dreaming at Mach speed. Plans for the X-43B aimed to scale things up, while the X-43C hoped to ditch finicky hydrogen fuel for good old hydrocarbons, like jet fuel with a PhD. And then there was the ambitious X-43D, targeting Mach 15, basically the aerospace equivalent of saying, hold my beer. Unfortunately, as often happens with bold ideas and limited wallets, these projects got benched before they could spread their wings. The X-43C was grounded in 2004, probably after someone saw the fuel bill. The X-43D never made it past NASA's imagination, though it definitely made it into a few sci-fi fanfics. Turns out, NASA's budget is more fragile than a paper plane in a hurricane. Still, engineers kept the spark alive, because nothing flies faster than an unfinished government-funded dream. Falcon has landed. While NASA paused, the US Air Force took flight. In 2006, it unveiled the FALCON project, Force Application and Launch from CONUS, because even deadly missiles need catchy acronyms. The Falcon scramjet missile was reusable, could launch from almost anywhere, and was a critical step in the US military's vision for rapid response global range weapons. The project later produced the X-51 Waverider, which successfully flew in 2010, hitting hypersonic speeds with better endurance. Meanwhile, the HTV-2 vehicle from DARPA's Prompt Global Strike program hit Mach 20 before ending its flight prematurely. Imagine flying from New York to London in under 15 minutes. Now imagine trying to stop in time. China joins the game. While the US was testing, scrapping, and rebooting programs, China was quietly and rapidly developing its own hypersonic aircraft. In 2021, A wide-bodied, cape-winged plane flew for 20 minutes in the Gobi Desert, hitting speeds of Mach 6.56. It surprised many experts, not just because of the speed, but because it defied conventional design. Hypersonic planes are usually needle-thin, not roomy enough to swing a cat. This design hinted at future aircraft capable of carrying passengers or cargo, not just warheads. Hypersonic airliners, anyone. Jet lag might become a thing of the past. Just don't blink on the flight, or you'll miss it. From research to warfare, hypersonic vehicles are not just about breaking speed records. They're about breaking the rules of engagement. Imagine a missile so fast, it's already hit its target before you even hear the launch. That's not sci-fi anymore, it's Wednesday at the Pentagon. Weapons like the US HTV-2, the X-51A, and China's glide vehicles are rewriting the playbook on speed, stealth, and surprise. These projectiles can swerve like a fighter jet and hit like a meteor, all while shrugging off most current defenses. It's like trying to swat a mosquito with a pool noodle. Good luck. For allies, this tech means rethinking everything from radar to response time. For adversaries, it's an expensive game of keep up or get vaporized. In short, speed kills. But now, it does so with GPS precision and style. The billion-dollar speed dilemma. Despite its thrilling promise, hypersonic tech has burned through more cash than a toddler in a candy store with your credit card. From the 1970s to the 1990s, the US funneled over $4 billion into spaceplane dreams and mostly got dusty blueprints, broken prototypes, and a collection of what-if PowerPoints. It's the aerospace version of we almost made it. Still, the flame of hope burns hot and fast. Projects like Black Swift and HTV-3X keep the dream alive. Lockheed Martin and Boeing are back in action, this time hopefully with fewer explosions. The goal? Make the next aircraft so good it doesn't end up in a museum before it flies. The future is hypersonic. As we rocket into the future, it's clear that hypersonic technology is here to stay. Whether for space access, commercial transport, or military dominance, these ultra-fast vehicles represent a game-changing evolution in aerospace engineering. Sure, there are still hurdles: engine cooling, precise navigation, making sure the plane doesn't melt mid-flight, minor stuff. But with successful tests piling up and rivalries heating between superpowers, the future of flight might not just be fast, it'll be hypersonic. The next time your airline brags about on-time arrivals, just remember, somewhere out there, a team of engineers is working on a plane that could circle the Earth in under 3 hours. Now that's fast service. If you enjoyed that wild ride through hypersonic history, don't forget to smash that like button. It helps the algorithm go supersonic too. Got thoughts or questions? Drop them in the comments. We love hearing from fellow speed freaks. Make sure to subscribe for more high-tech, high-speed stories from the cutting edge of innovation. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your eyes on the sky and your feet off the brakes.